that. Error starting, error starting. Good. No kick. Well, I guess I'm streaming on Kick too. Crazy. Let's move this out of the way. I'll small this and move you out of the way. Perfect. All right. Do I... The hell? Hold on, everybody. I'm just trying to get this. There it goes. That goes away. It looks like I'm streaming, but I can't be sure. Whatever. Let's get that off the screen. Okay, we're back to... That's fine. That's fine. All right. That looks like it's working. Up in the top will be the comments on live. If you're looking on Instagram or whatever the heck you're looking on, I guess I'm over here. So what we're doing right now is we're going to do a Turbo Granny upscale. So what is Turbo? Turbo Granny is a character in the beloved series Dandadan. And so what I'm going to do is this came up as a request on Reddit. Not so much a request as like somebody had captured this image and you'll see that it's kind of jagged all over. Let's see if I can zoom this in even further. Yeah, you'll see it has a lot of artifacting all over. Yeah, it's a little bit rough around the edges. So I'm going to take this to as a sign that I've got to restart my upscaling process again. So what we're going to do is we're going to stretch that out to the full size. We're going to go to color fill on the background and we're going to say color fill, yes. And we're going to say what color? It's going to be this blue. So now, already halfway done. The background is now the same color. There we go. I did it. I'm done. No, seriously, here we go. And if anybody joins, hey, look at that. Arc the Shadow, welcome. Gosh, I can always count on you, Arc. Can always count on you. Let me see if I can get you in there. You're cut off on the other social. You're cut off, sorry. You're cut off on Instagram right now, but that's all right. We'll get this together. So what we start with is usually the items in the background. And a couple of these items are these little gold little tablets. Let's try one of those for now. Let me find a full one. We'll use this guy up here in the corner. I'll zoom way in on that and get... Hold on. Well, that's silly. Why is that not... There it goes. That one right there. We're going to just do one of these for now. We're going to grab... How you doing, Ark? Everything all right? Hopefully you're well. We're going to do the whole one. This is not going to look good right out of the gate, but you get the idea. We're going to change that to a color I can see. Perfect. And we're just going to change the dimensions of this slightly. And then we're going to change the line too. I just need to do, this is a step-by-step process. And then I can kind of duplicate this one for other coins in the scene. Let's see. That's close enough. Then we're going to change the line to that. That's a little Simpson-y, but it does look like that line. If you can see, can I zoom in on this? Hold on. Can I zoom in further? How far can I zoom in? There, that's as far as I can zoom in. Yeah, you'll see that this line is a little bit bumpy, like The Simpsons. Not this bumpy, of course, but bumpy enough. I am not all right. Holy moly, what's going on with you? What is happening, Ark? Is it just the world, or... I'm going to adjust you here in 1 second. Let me do this. Not that. That's not what I want at all. I want to do this so I have the most recent comment showing. You are not all right. That makes me sad. What's happening? What's happening there, Ark? What can I do for you? Hold on, I'm getting adjusted. Oh, you're half left. That's better. Well, that's good. That means you're fine. If you're half left, you're fine. That's perfect. That's good to hear. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to come in here and we're going to take out these little bumps. Now that we have a decent size arc. Hold up. That is this official sound of making bumps less bumpy is the zh noise. You'll hear that a lot in animation circles. Yeah, so I haven't been doing this in a while, but I got a request to do this arc. Someone was like, hey, look what I did. I got this really nice, I cleaned up this image from the end of Dandadan. And I'm like, we can do better. We can do better. And that's what I'm doing. I'm doing better. Good Lord. This thing is going to just follow me around, isn't it? It is. I got to get rid of all those big bumps. Once I get one, that is way out. That's not what I want at all. I guess I got to have some hard line in here. Let me get rid of all those stupid hard lines first. I've continued streaming a bit, but I was playing Skyrim and I've lost interest. That happens. Totally. I just got Resident Evil Requiem, and I'm burning through that because I know that if I get stuck or if I give up on that for a day or so, that it's over. I won't come back to it. And then I'll be like, where was I? What the heck is this? Why am I even playing this thing? Yeah, so I try to get through that game as quickly as possible. Good Lord, what is with these bumps? Why are these... I don't think we got an update on Keynote, but that usually doesn't give me this many bumps. I'm going to keep one bump in there. For now, this is how you know it's mine. You'll see this little bump. That bump is an official Neil Bauer original bump. Let's get that done. All right, so now, oh, fudge, I really wish I can get rid of that one. Can I not get rid of this one? Put it right there and see if I can get rid of it. It just moves my bumps. I'm just moving bumps around is what's happening right now. Okay. Okay, I'm getting rid of all of it. I'm getting rid of all of it. This is not starting off well. I'm struggling with bumps right now. I need a bump in there. Make sharp point. There we go. Good God. Bump. It's unfortunate. Yes. It is not something that I'm able to control at this moment. My bumps. Speaking of bumps, I just found out something about, this is crazy. This is already a sidebar, but I just heard about, oh, what are they called? Are they goiters? Okay, just hear me out. So in olden times, people used to have these goiters, like these big, oh my God, no, these big bumps on their body. And that doesn't surprise me. People get bumps all the time. But what was crazy is that they realized that those bumps were caused by it. I don't even know. It's a thyroid problem, right? So hear me out. This is going somewhere. So you would have a thyroid issue because your thyroid was either generating these or causing these goiters to form. And they figured out that idiom, the element idiom, is that what it is? Idiom is a language term. Whatever. Anyways, people were lacking in a mineral that was causing these goiters to form. And what they wound up doing in the early 1900s was putting idiom in salt because they realized that iodine is what caused those goiters not to form. It basically rehabilitated the thyroid's ability to not produce these lumps. So people would have these massive lumps like growing all over their bodies. And so they put iodine in salt. So that's why you see iodized salt, right? Like I was like, holy cow, that's crazy. I did not know that. I was unaware that iodized salt was to prevent goiters. Well, what was even funnier is that Morton salt. Morton salt is a very, I'm sure it's worldwide, but here in the US, it's one of the premium, if not the premium brand for salt. And it has, when it rains, it pours. That's what it is. And the reason why that's, again, I don't know why I'm telling you this, but it's fun. It's fun to learn stuff. So when it rains, it pours. It was because salt had the tendency to clump. and Morton salt did not. So there was, at any humidity, Morton salt would stay granular. So when it rains, it pours. See, because it would pour even if the humidity was up. Crazy, right? That's insane to me. I did not know that, but now I do, and now you do. But here's where it gets even weirder, because all of the other salt companies agreed to put iodine in their it's not that sketchy. Let's make this one bumpy. Do we want to make this one bumpy? It's going to have 2 dots at the end of it. I don't know if we want to make it that bumpy. We'll reduce the size of that. We'll make it a little bit smaller. That's fine. So all of the other salt manufacturers decided to do it except for Morton. They're like, because they were worried that it was going to compromise their ability to remain non-clumpy in humidity. So they said, nope, we're not doing it. And that's their right as a company. But what was great is that their stock, just like their sales tanked, because people were like, oh my God, I got rid of my goiters just by changing my salt. So Morton's had to be dragged along to agree to do this, to change their formula. And basically all you're doing is adding idiom or iodine to salt. And that would prevent goiters from forming. But yeah, Morton's is like, nope, ain't doing it. Nope, that's not us. That's not who we are. And we're not going to compromise. And it probably had to do with internal secrets and stuff like that too. But guess what? They changed, and now they're like the leading salt provider, table salt provider. Now, what's funny, we were just talking about bumps. That's why I'm talking about this. I'm getting rid of my goiters. Maybe if I add iodine to these images, that'll go away. This is not black. This is like a very dark gray. So I'm going to change all of those. View, show object list. And I'm going to take all of these lines and I'm going to make them, it's going to be way darker than that. Are you kidding me? Way darker than that. That's close enough for now. So we've got technically one of these already, and that's going to be black. That's going to be straight black, and this is going to be black. We've already got one of these gold, bullions? Is that what this is? I'm not even sure what this is. This doesn't have to be perfect. This can be stretched out. It's going to have no line. This has no line. What I'm going to say is change the line color to this, just so I have it. Perfect. I'm going to add that to because I have to make a couple of these. Oh, I should do that with this too. Hold on. Add this color. Perfect. So now I have both of those colors. This line is that. We're going to fill it, color fill with that. And then we're going to make that super light, just so I can see around it. Make editable. So, end of the story. To get rid of goiters, it's just like when hearing, again, I don't know if you know about this either, Ark, but do you have, does the UK fluoridate their water, like put fluoride in their water? That's a big concern here in the United States. Because people are like, I'm not putting fluoride in my water. And I think that's right. I don't think you should put chemicals in the water just for the heck of it. But it did change our the ability to get cavities significantly. We don't get as many cavities because we drink fluoridated water. Most people used to. And here's the other problem. We used to drink fluoridated water, but now everybody drinks bottled water. So like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why it's a big deal. Because tap water, yeah, you shouldn't be messing with that. Let's go color fill. We're going to change that color to that. Perfect. We've got 2 of these done. We got 2 backgrounds done. Let's change that color to, good Lord, it's been a while since I've done one of these. Great. Okay, and then these get dragged to the bottom because they're just shapes. There you go, poink. What do we got? No, we don't. Most of our water brands are natural. They should be. I don't know why they don't do that in the US. Because apparently we just have to, like everything that gets done in the US, we do it because companies have to get rid of their waste, and fluoride probably was a lot of their waste. Um, yeah, isn't that great? Isn't that wonderful how that works out? Okay, that goes on the bottom. Oh, shoot, I got a problem now. One problem. 1 second, I got to change my line back to black. That's black line. Now I got to duplicate this shape. Duplicate, bring that up to the top, and then remove the fill. No fill. Perfect. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Lock. Okay, so now that's there. This goes to that dark color. Great. And then this goes to 100%. Why are those that color? These two is a color. 1 second. These two should be this color. What color are they? God dang it, I did it reversed. Hold on a second. I want to say, hold on. This color should be this. Hold on. These should be dark. Am I correct in that assumption? Let's see if that's right. Let's group all these, and then we're going to change the group to, hold on. How close am I? Oh, I'm very close. There we go. So we've upscaled that one. That one's a little bit more. Apart from Evian, but there's a reason people say there's a reason. Oh, yeah. Don't get me started. Oh, hang on a sec. Decline. I can't take that call right now. I'm a busy man. I can't be taking calls. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to extend that line down on the side here. I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. So I take this and I just say, boop. I'm going to extend that down like that. You'll see what I'm doing in a second. I'm going to make this so I can see what I did there. And then same thing down here, shape. This will go at a different angle, great. And then back up, perfect. And that also the same color. We're going to change this to 1.75. We're going to change that to 1.75 as well. And then this will be that same color fill. And then color fill. Why did that not go in there? Hold on a sec. Color fill. Great. No line, no border, no border. Yeah, don't get me started. Okay, drag these triangles down here. I think we've got one gold bar done. I do. And we have it at a different angle. So this is all grouped together. So hang on a sec, let's zoom back out. You can see the difference between these when I drag that off. How much different. Let's get that over so you can see. Whoa, 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 whoa. What did I just do? Hold on. Drag off. Perfect. And then I guess I can zoom in like this. You can see the difference in resolution in both of these because, yeah, one is, I don't think I'm going to make it super detailed in that way, but yeah, and I can make this line a little bit rougher around the edges if I wanted to, but you can see the difference. Like one has got a lot of artifacts and the other does not. Oh, holy cow. What's going on with you, buddy? Can't even see it on this one down here. Let's see if I can zoom in. This is for the Instagram folks. Anybody who's watching on there, I have no idea who is, but you can see the difference in the upscaled version. You can't see it on this one. The upscaled version, this one has a ton of artifacts, but when you back out, the other one does not. It's much cleaner. That's what the upscaling process is all about. It's about cleaning these up so you can have these as a desktop pattern. Perfect. So now, zoom back out a little bit further. I can zoom out of this a little bit. Perfect. Can I not zoom in on this? Yeah, I can. Great. That's not what I wanted at all. I just changed my bandwidth. Great. All right. So now we've got one gold coin. Whoa. punching people here. One gold coin done, and I'm going to just take this one and I'm going to say copy V, and I'm going to move that down here. Going to rotate this one slightly. This is me faking it. I'll clean that one up. Okay, back out. Copy V. These shapes can be reused for others. Let's go womp womp womp. Let's get this one nice. I want to remain as true to the original as possible. There we go. Did you? Yeah, I had some experience. You kind of you let me know that, yeah, I had used Stream Elements in the past, but not anymore. I've been using Ecamm almost exclusively, but that doesn't help you because you are a PC person, and that is a Mac exclusive product. Hold on, just stretching this guy out to fit this space, and then we'll just mess around with the rest of the stuff later. Great. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. Okay, those are not too difficult to make. I'm just going to make a couple more of these, and I'm going to label these so I'm not losing my mind later. I'll label and stack them. They're not going to be perfect yet. I'll do those. I'll perfect these later. Come on, you. How dare you be a different shape? It would be a lot easier if I made these in 3D, but then again, I'm doing this for vector purposes, not for, that's not going to work. I'm not making 3D versions of this. That's a totally different type of process. Okay, that's that one. Copy V, move that up here. That one's flat. We're getting there. I say that all the time. We're getting there. That's my Bob Ross when he's like, happy little trees. Mine's like, we're getting there. We're getting there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Copy V. Let's make this 7. Flip it. Hold up. Again, we're plowing through this background right now, and then we can focus on Turbo Granny itself. Hey, Ark, we talked about this, I'm sure. You've seen Dandadan, correct? I am almost 100% sure you have. Can I zoom in on that? Yes, I can. There we go. Okay, so we've got, I'm going to just label these. 1. Copy V, 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 V. This will make my life a lot easier down the line. Whoop. So I know which one's which. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. I don't even know if you can see what I'm doing here. 3. Oh, you can. On the desktop version, you can. 4. Oh, you don't have a way to watch it. Oh, shoot. I wish there, if I got a DVD version of it, usually I just give somebody the code. If I ever get the DVD version and it comes with a digital code, I'll give you access to it. I wound up buying Primal for a couple people because they couldn't watch the show Primal. And so I'm like, yeah, why not? I'll just buy okay, that's 1. That's going to be, I don't want that one to be, 2, 3. See, this is what I'm talking about. Already, it's a problem. So I'm going to put this on 1. It's just going to be easier. This is 2. I have to. Just bear with me, everybody. It's 2. Where's 3? That's 3. Good Lord, 3. 4. Hold up. 4. And I'll, of course, delete those. 4. I found something out from a podcast channel that one of the presenters' dad knew someone who made Katamari. Get the heck out of here. That is freaking awesome. Yeah, what podcast? That's freaking awesome. It's one of my favorite games of all time. This is group 3. Move that up. No, I don't want to do that. Z. Okay. 3. This is group 3. 3 group. 4 group. Nope. Oh, you're killing me. When I make that mistake, that's not good. When I make the mistake, it changes the name of the group. So I gotta be very strategic about this. So this is 2 group. This is, where's my 1 group? Where's my 1 group? There it is. So 1 group, I'm gonna move. Oh, God dang. I know it sucks, but it has to be done. 1 group. And apparently slept on their sofa. That sounds very much like an early game development story. Yeah, like, and that's Namco. That's one of my favorite companies back in that era. In the PlayStation, that's in PlayStation 2, of course. I know that. But in the, when Namco worked on like the port of Tekken 3, like that's a technical feat. You never knew of anybody's name that worked at Namco, right? Like Namco was Namco. And the development teams were doing miraculous stuff back in the day. It was the one with Tommy in it. I followed, but I don't really watch it now, was a clip. I'll see if I can find it. That's freaking awesome. Because again, Katamari Damacy is just a freaking, unbelievable experience. And how I got my name. 5 group, 1 second. I'm just going to drag this down here. Oh, no. 5. That's 5. Great. This is going to make a lot more sense when I'm done. This is 4, 5. This is 6. That's this one, right? Yep. Hold up. 6 group. This is going to be, shoot. This will be 5 group. God dang it. I'm going to call this one 7 group. Change this to 7. That's 7 group. 6, 7. So 5 is here. Call this one 5. This is just a labeling process. I know it's not exciting. 5. There we go. And drag that to here. This is 5 group. And then this has got to be. That's the 8 group. This is the main. This is the one we started with, was number 8. And drag 8 to there. 8 is the original. Just remember, Ocho is the original. Ocho is my... Okay. So we've got, what group is this? That's 2. 2 group. 2. Hold up. 2 group, and this is a 1 group. There's the 1 group 1. Hey, Ernesto, welcome. He's coming from Twitch. Holy cow, it's my first Twitch day. Hello, I am doing an upscale of Turbo Granny from Dandadan. Just doing it because I haven't done one of these in a while, and I need to dust off my chops because I'm working on a podcast right now. Not just for the animation I'm working on. Great to see you, Ernesto. By the way, all the stuff I stream, I do on mobile. I don't really have a PC or a laptop. I only have a 2012 Mac, which is slow as hell. Yeah, that's so funny you say that. My old co-host, because I just talked about podcasts, my old Double Plus Good Games uh, co-host had, I think I want to say 2012 as well, and his was fine because he doesn't like he's very very meticulous about how he cleans it and what he puts on it. He was just exclusively using it to record new podcasts. He's working on one called The Morning Project with Molly Patterson from EGM. See, I'm still connected. I don't have people sleeping on my couch, but the new EGM Kickstarter that came out, my co-host did a ton of work on that. He's actually in there. Uh, but yeah, like his machine was going so slow that he had to upgrade. And luck would have it, it's not cheap, but the new Mac Neo was $599 and he was able to pick that up. My mother-in-law had a 20, I want to say 2015 or 2017, only about just about 10 years old. We'll just say it's 10 years old. I could get her machine to move files. Like that's 2015 to 2017. It was like, and she wasn't putting crap on it. Now it was a Power PC, so support went downhill for that. So my guess is that what you're experiencing as well is and again, if I come across a Mac Bro, I have an old mid 2012 Mac, maxed out, 16 gig of RAM, that they said you could only do 8, but I also use an SSD. Dude, SSDs, holy cow. That is exactly why my co-host Mac was not slowing down. Like he was meticulous with files, but the SSD kept his machine viable. My mother-in-law's 2015, 2017 spinning disk and Power PC. Holy cow, that thing was archaic. Like I couldn't do anything. It's like the spinning drive just failed. So that may be what you're experiencing, Arc, is just the spinning drive is just like moaning itself to life every day. So, I'll do it. I'm getting up. But yeah, crazy the difference that makes. I used to write code all the time, ran Ruby on Rails, no problem. Yeah, again, smart going with the extra RAM when you could, and then the SSD makes all the difference in the world. That's what I use most of the time. And I just installed a spinning drive to do backups because I have a ton of video backups. Dude, that machine hammers. Oh, sorry, that hard drive just turns my new Mac or my M2 Mac into a freaking dinosaur because I don't know if it's a read-write issue. The throughput is fine. Like it's a fast drive, but the spinning drive kills the speed of my machine. The battery is a major thing too. I feel terrible for saying this. Arc, I'm so sorry. I probably wouldn't have been able to ship it overseas either, but I just gave away one of my old Mac laptops. And the first thing the guy did was swap out the battery. And boy, oh boy, I probably could have sold that thing. No, I just gave it to him because he's local, needed a update, wound up getting a free machine and then having to put about $700 into cleaning and repairs and new stuff into it. Like I think he did exactly what you did. Updated the RAM, which you shouldn't have been able to do. Updated the battery, which they locked that out. But yeah, he has a super fast machine now. I would need to do a full reset, but it's not mine. Got it. Yeah, it's just, yeah, some of these machines could last forever, especially like if you look at graphics now on game systems, like the graphics on game systems haven't, yeah, I'm not talking about ray tracing or anything like that, but the graphics are not, I mean, look at Drive Club. Drive Club came out in 2016. There's not a better looking racing game out there. Like that's 2016. They have not improved. So you should be able to run, hang on a second. I'm not going to do this right. Hold on. That's not a full line. See, I'm getting distracted from my perfection here. I'm going to start from behind and then just do this line like that. Because this one doesn't have a complete line. You'll see what I'm saying in a minute. Zoom in. There we go. This line is incomplete. So what I'll do is I'll use a different, nope, I won't use text. I'll use a different shape for that right here. and I'll have it end like that. And then I'll change that line type to that. That is too great. Make editable. Up. Hang on. There it goes. Change that to red because I got to see the freaking line below it. Okay, this goes up here. Right there. This one I can make a sharp point. Great. And that goes like that. This gets dramatically reduced. There we go. Put it under his hand. Her hand. Their hand. Yeah, now it looks like a smooth, that'll be a smooth line. So it like a brush stroke. See, look how fancy I get. I'm so fancy. The only PC I have runs Ubuntu Linux. Yeah, I have a LAMP server and I started on, oh my God. Ugh. Well, I started, I'm trying to remember how long ago when I started what I was using. And I think it was pre-assembly. What the hell was I working on? I can't. Oh my God. I'm driving myself. What the heck did I use? But yeah, like I don't even have a PC anymore. I used to have a backup PC, but I don't, I mean, I still have it. It's in the garage on a shelf but it's running, I think Windows 7 because I upgraded from XP. So it has to have 7 on it. And I keep seeing those reports about them sunsetting 7. So I'm not even looking forward to rebooting that at some point to be like, you can't use this. You don't have a verified key. I'm like, I don't know. PCs are nightmarish to me anymore. Like they should be getting simpler, but they're getting more and more convoluted. What I was saying is like graphics have not gone up substantially. Like every console generation would have like a high watermark for like, here's what weather effects look like. Here's what racing effects look like. We haven't had that in 15. Wait, no. When was the last big, holy crap upgrade? I would probably say 2006. Major, like major from PS2 to PS3 or from Xbox One to Xbox 360. I would say this is probably the last massive step. And they've all been like small little incremental steps since then. Yeah, I got to change this line to bumpy and then I got to bump that down. I have one big bump, but it's behind the hand. So we're good with that. That's good. That's just one bump. Great. So now I'm just going to make a shape. This one, oh, fudge, come on. I'm going to start there. There. God dang it. I just pressed the delete key by accident. Start here, there. That's perfect. That looks exactly like it's supposed to look. Same thing here. We'll start here, there. Done. They're perfect, I think. They are awesome. I love them. There's no better racing games. Yeah, like Drive Club. I'm right. Drive Club is the pinnacle of racing games. Like there's no, just from the weather effects, which I know weren't there at launch. What is going on? Why are you deleting that? There's 2 dots. With 2 dots, should be enough. I don't know why it's giving me a hassle right there. And we use that same line, a little rough edge on that line. And then we're going to make a bunch of these. Wait, no. We did this. We did this one. We made these big bumps. I don't know if that's going to work here, is it? That'll be fine. Make editable. Boop. And what I do with this is I usually just speed it up and do a time lapse of this and make a short out of it. So all of this will look like it was all planned. Up you go. Perfect. Forza Motorsport Test Drive has really nice weather. I used to be a big well, not big. I used to play Forza, but I don't know what got me out of racing games because I loved almost all racing games from early age, from Super Sprint to hard, like even hard driving. Um, those were just incredible. Like, oh my God, look how far games are coming. They're amazing. And yeah, so Super Sprint, hard driving, Iron Super Iron Man Off Road, like the truck racing game. I enjoyed that one. And then on console, good Lord, everything from a Jaguar XJ220 on the Sega CD. How's that for a deep cut? Jaguar XJ220. Come at me, bro. Just an incredible game. It wasn't. It was fine. But the original Need for Speed on 3DO, hard, Road and Track it was one of the first, not, shoot, how do I say that? It was a licensed, but I would, because there was other officially licensed games way before that, but that was just an incredible like leap from, if you looked at the 16-bit era, then go to uh, the original Need for Speed. And I'm saying 3DO because the 3DO had the pinnacle version of that. And everybody was like, well, the graphics are better on others. I'm like, yeah, but they didn't get the physics right on the other ones. And that's problematic. Need for Speed's pretty good these days. I enjoyed Need for Speed. Oh, what was that? The Hot Pursuit series. I did like that. And then it got beaten by its own, was a Burnout. Once Acclaim dropped Burnout and it got picked up by the other, who made Burnout? That's going to be a question. That's, God dang it. Okay. So Burnout 1 and 2, is it Electronic Arts? I hate to say that, but Burnout 1 and 2 was owned by Acclaim. And boy, oh boy, what a terrible developer to be in that era. Because, geez, the Acclaim is I don't even want to go into how messy Acclaim is or was. So it's Electronic Arts. Yeah, Burnout is make editable. Hang on a sec. Make editable. This is not going to have a line. So just bear with me for a second. This curves, which is weird. I don't know why that's curving, but I'll capture it. It's wrong, but I'll capture it. It shouldn't curve there. That's not how hard surfaces work, but make a sharp point, bend that, make this a sharp point. I just need a couple curves in this thing. That's perfect. Perfect. That goes there. Okay. This just has no, right. Let's see. Bend that up a little bit to make it look a little bit nicer. And then we're say color fill. Boom. Nice. We've done it. And then no line. Boom. Double boom. This will go under the shape. So there it goes. Look how sweet. And then we'll turn these black because I can. Yeah, that's black. So now we've got that. And then this last line, we just got to hit right there. Hang on a sec. Change the line color on that one. Sorry. Jump the gun. Make editable. Doing two things at once. Hey, thank you so much for being here, both of you. I don't even know but the fact that he chimed in at all, awesome. Ernesto was from my TikTok days, which I am no longer on TikTok. I am fully removed. Like I removed every one of my videos from that platform. I had been there for 3 years. 3 years and I had 30,000 followers and I had to burn them all because I have what is that? Principles. Yeah. I mean, I've compromised them a lot, but some, I've got principles too. Let's bring that down here. And then we're going to fill this one right here. We're going to say color fill with this. And that should be, that's not right. Copy V. Hold on. What did I just do? There it is. It's right there. Then we're going to say no fill. There we go. And then this goes on the bottom. Yes, that is correct. And what is this? Which one is this? This is going to be shape 9. We'll put a 9 there. Put that 9 right there. Bring you up to the top. And then say group. 9 group. Great. So it is now. So let's take all of those. We're going to highlight all of these and you'll see the difference between... God dang it. Hold on. There we go. No, zoom in. There we go. So the difference between these, when I move them, aside from the numbers, you'll see. Whoa. Yeah, there's a massive increase in fidelity on these. Let's go. Let's do this. I'm going to do that. And then I'll show you the difference in fidelity in these things. You can, like, again, this one has, I'll do the lines a little bit better. Let's see if I can back out of here one step so you can see the color lines. So here, Z. Yeah, you can see the difference. Well, that's wrong. Oh, that's right, because I haven't fixed this yet. Sorry, I just pasted them in there. I still have some work to do on those. Okay. All right, so we've got 9, and I've got a couple more of those to do, but I know what everybody's interested in. We're going to do, let's do, while we still have people here, a cat. I'm going to put these underneath. Hold up. Let's go. Okay, great. I'm going to say duplicate. I'm going to have one on the top and one on the bottom. Great. So now I have 2 versions of this thing. Let's make sure that that's correct. Oh, you got to be kidding me. That should be right. Hang on. Change the opacity. How are you off? Hold on. Oh my God. You shouldn't be off. That's the big, that could have been a crippling mistake. Hold on. That could have been bad, making that mistake that early on. Okay, so that goes there. And then let's change the opacity. Yeah, they're at the same level now. But now the freaking coins are off. How did I screw that up? I know I did it. I did it backwards. I'm a jerk. Hold on. Let's go back. Z, 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 Z. Okay. That's the one. That's the one. Hold on. That one has to move. We'll just say that for now. That's going to be deleted. That's the primary. There. I don't have to move any coins. Great. And again, I have to make some shape adjustments. We're all good. If you like Burnout, check Recreation. Oh, Recreation. I'm writing that one down. Hold on. Recreation. I'll check that out. Yeah, I do like the Burnout mechanics a lot. They're my jam. Okay, I'm going to unplug my keyboard. One of the big problems I'm having is my keyboard needed charged, and so I've been compromising my entire space for that. All right, now I can start motoring. Well, let's do the cat. How much cat do we have? We've got a decent cat here. What I'm going to do first is I'm just going to get the basic outline of a cat. Just ignore this for now. That's the basic outline of cat. Good. Great. There's the shape of the cat. We're good with shape. Now, let's make that 0 opacity and start a new shape. Even closer this time. So the way the vector tool works is that I am going to put points on like more or less corners, I guess. Oh, shoot. Shouldn't have done that. But that's okay. I'll fix that in post. I'll fix it in post. All right. And then anything that's kind of bent, hold on. I don't worry about inside lines right now. I just worry about form. There we go. That's a straight. I might be able to get away with that. And then inside lines I deal with later. It's all outside lines at this point. Let's do that. This, and you're like, well, these aren't corners. They aren't, but you'll see what's going on when under the hood when I'm starting to clean this up. It gets real suspect real fast. And I know that's not lined up, if you can even see that. Boom, boom, boom. Let's get this body. And then I'll change this to red so you can see what I'm doing. This tail is a little bit bumpy all over. A little bit bumpy, but you start with the background objects first and then work your way to the front. And this little kitty cat's in the background. All right, let's go start there. All right, change this to red so you can see what I'm doing. What kind of line is this? Let's find out what kind of line this is. It seems pretty, it's not sketchy at all. It's not really that sketchy. I wonder if I can get away with this line because this is going to be too sketchy if I do. That's going to be too sketchy. Yeah, I think I'm just going to make this a regular line. Not 8-point though. I'm going to change the opacity so you can see the line behind. And you'll see now I can bend those lines a quarter. This goes here. That seems to be pretty straight. That gets bent. And this will get tooled in the final stage. But for now, I'm just going to get this. That's not going to be a point, but we'll work on that. That should not be a point. That should be more like that. This should not be a point. Let's do that. But you'll see, like, I have to bend these, but if I don't have an anchor point, like one of these solid lines, it's not going to work. It's going to stretch it like it did on the gold coins originally. And I think only, or yeah, we'll do it live. Only arc was there for the first part of this. Stretch. Okay. Good. Good. So I have an anchor point there, but I can get rid of that anchor point. Once I set those lines, I can get rid of this anchor point and it should keep that curve like that. So it eliminates the harsh, sharp point, but I have to keep it in there originally. I wonder if I can get rid of this one too. Yeah, I should be able to. Okay, great. And then stretch, and then stretch, and stretch one more. This one right here, I have to put this in after. Hold up. That'll be a sharp. I want to make that sharp like that. That's an artistic choice right there. I decided to make that sharp. Okay, and then this drag off. That goes there. I can get rid of this one. No, I cannot. That has to go there. Yeah, because sometimes what will happen is you'll just get weird little either points or, hold on, you get odd, fudge, hold on. Like we saw with the blobs earlier, you'll get very odd anchor points if you don't do it this way, because the floating point coprocessor, whatever heck is doing the mathematics on this thing is not, it's not rocket science. So this has a weird tail. This has a kind of a cut off tail, like a, I wonder if that's supposed to be like a sign of a scraggly cat, a street cat in Japan. Okay, since we don't have any context, I'm just going to make that smooth because we don't need to be, there you go. So that's that. And get rid of that line. Get rid of bumps where I can. I think I can get rid of that. Yes, I can. Hold on. I just have to make this a little bit more like that. Okay, and then this comes in. Now I can get rid of you. Perfect. And I know that what I'm saying is what I'm not saying. I'm not saying anything. I'm just talking through the process. But this all makes sense, trust me. I'm not going to write a book on this because I don't think I could explain what I'm doing. They're like, well, why are you doing it? Can't you just AI this thing? And I'm like, I'm sure you could. I'm sure you could AI upscale this thing, but you don't get to understand. Like, I like doing this because as an animator, as somebody who was animating for a long time, I used to have to study other artists' work in order to figure out like how they make lines. Like, you get character sheets for sure, but also you want to kind of get into how art's made and like what they focus. And so if you're working on something with where the artist is, the original artist is no longer there, you're like, well, no, they used to use the fat tail for homeless cats, or they used to do, like, you learn about what, like, how they drew, and that's kind of freaking awesome. That's kind of another reason I like to do this. You know what? Now that I'm saying it, I should do old Looney Tunes cartoons because there's a lot of stuff in there that I absolutely loved learning back in the day. Okay, good. I think we got the whole cat right. We did. We've done well. We've got the whole cat drawn in. Me, when I go check whether I can use milk for cereal or drinks, why are you off? I only realized this wasn't live. Wait, it's not live? What are you talking about? It should be live. I, is the thing not populating properly? It's possible. I'm not paying attention to the chat. I'm over here. I apologize. Here's the thing. I will make a point to look back over there more often because I was focused on the cat's body. But it should be live. It should only be, I would imagine, just a few seconds behind. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this in here and I'm going to use that different line. You'll see what I'm talking about. This will be the red again. And make my opaque. And we're going to change that weight to 4. How's that? Make editable. I'm doing this for people somebody on Reddit recommended this. Not that I'm a huge Redditor, but I've been there promoting my, what is it? The animation I'm working on. And so I'm trying to do this as kind of like a, hey, I'm here for the, oh, for fuck's sake, stop it. Oh my God, what did I just do? What did I do? Oh no. Yeah, like be there as somebody who's actively listening and involved with the community, which is, yeah, it's just nice to do too. And so somebody mentioned they'd like this, they made a desktop of this. And I'm like, all right, I can make it better. I can make your desktop even desktopier, higher resolution. And we'll see how this goes. It could just get buried. I don't know. But let it not be said that I am not a man of the people. Like, get that. And then we'll use the same line again. We'll do red and we'll do this little thing and we'll make it 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Make editable. Reduce the opacity so I can see the line underneath. Okay, that gets curved. 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 Wasn't realized. There we go. I was 7 minutes behind. Oh, it's knowing. Oh, good Lord. If it's 7 minutes behind, I apologize. Let me tell you, it is 2:40 my time. So it's 40 after the hour or 20 till the hour. I don't know how you say it in the UK. Is it biscuits time? I have no idea. I'm not going to, I have no idea what time it is over there. Here we go. Pause. This should be pretty straightforward. We're going to make this one slightly thicker because it is closer to the camera. We use this and we'll make it 5 point. How? 5. Make editable. Boink. There's that. There's that. Move you in. Let's make this roundy. Cat paws are round. Everybody knows that. Okay, that's close. I think that'll work. All right. Don't. I'm not even going there. I'm not even approaching. I'm on the teetering on the edge of being canceled. I'm not. Yes, it is 2:40. It's not time to go to the dentist at all. You're late for your appointment to the dentist, is what I'd say. Next time, schedule it a little earlier. By the way, I was watching a Jerry Lewis movie about 2 months ago on Tubi, and I used to love it as a kid because I was an idiot. And I watched it, and I'm like, God damn, if this is not the most problematic. Like, how is this just unbelievably, uncalled forly racist? But I'm like, I used to like Jerry Lewis as a kid. I did. Like, as a little kid, not like a. I didn't know any better. And I thought he was just goofy. But no, he's extremely racist. I'm not saying that. I'll let you. You did it. If anybody's to be canceled, it is to be you. This will be later. I'm going to like, just do both of these right now. Perfect. That is not a. Hold on. Let's get these two. Make this that line. Perfect. That's a problematic cat. Let's go make them red so I can see what I'm doing here. Make them opaque slightly. Zoom in on that mustache. I cannot zoom in any further on that mustache. It's not a mustache. It's the cat's mouth. Perfect. And that gets like that. And then this one, make editable. Same thing. Move it in and up a little bit. Great. Make that black. Make you black. And then increase the opacity of both of those. There we go. We've got a nice little cat. No, well, it's pretty nice. I'm late. I'm late for, I know that one. I know that one very well. Late for a very important date. So we've got almost the whole cat done up here. So we're going to do the eyes. And they're just almond color, almond shaped eyes. So we'll do this in, again, red. Bring the opacity way down. I cannot zoom in any further than this. There we go. How close are we? Let's see. Hold on a second. This is where removing those sharp points is going to be very helpful. Okay. Great. I think that's close. This one has a little bit of a strange arc to it, but that's all right. Shape. Boom. Same thing here. I don't think I'm going to change the line weight of these. I'll keep those the same. Actually, no, I'll do that. I'm going to do that because that line doesn't complete. This line could be that. Make editable. Let's see what that looks like. Red and change the opacity so I can see behind it. Ooh. All right. This one does have a very odd sharp point to it. There we go. I wonder if I can get rid of that line, and I can. That one I can't because it is angled there. Okay, great. And the eyes look like they have like little ampersands in them. That's really interesting. I'm going to collect this color. I'm going to put it in my set, and then I'm going to take the skin color, or we have skin color, the fur color, and put that into color fill. We're going to change that skin color to that. Okay, so now I have the line and, wait, no, that was the eye color. That was the eye color. Where's the line color? There it is. That's the line color. So that cat is that color. Okay, So now let's see what we can do. We've got both eyes drawn. Okay, I'm just going to take all the red lines. Here we go. Boom, 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 boom. I'm going to change that to this color. There's all that color. That's great. Then I'm going to change these two to color fill. And that's going to be this color. It's the opacity's wrong on those, but we'll get it. And then let's see. Probably do. I can probably fill. No, I cannot. I cannot. I can change this line, I think. No, we're not going to do that either. We're going to leave those as is. I will change those to 100%. There we go. That color does not look correct. That color looks way off. Color fill. Why is that so far off? Great. Good. I feel good about that. And we'll swap that whole color out for the cat momentarily, and the eyes too. I just got to get this, I want to get the, whatever's going on in the cat's eyes, I want to get that isolated. Let's see what I can do here. Let's see, that does look like a little ampersand. I'm guessing that's money. Let's see if that is money. I can't tell. Turbo Granny I thought would have like some indication. Change that to that color. We're going to make this real fine. Make editable. Good Lord. It does look like a dollar sign. Like it does look like it has a little part in it. So I'm wondering if it is dollar signs. It's not the yen symbol for sure. Come on, you can do it. It's slightly darker on the outside. Hold on. Hold on. Huh. Let's try this. Shape 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make that. Pop, 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 pop. Make editable. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to create a new layer for this because this is going to make me crazy unless I do. So I'm going to take this layer, copy V. I'm going to blow this way the heck up. I'm punishing myself for no reason. All right, so this layer can be deleted, but I'm going to take these, I'm going to drag these on top. I'm going to group those. I'm going to blow those up in size. That's terrible. Let's start from scratch, shall we? Ungroup. Let's delete both of those. Why am I don't need to keep these. I don't need to keep these. That's the eyes. We've got the eyes down. Okay. Make editable. Come on, baby. 1, 2. You can see how low resolution this thing actually is when you zoom in this far. This is really good to know because when I'm done, it's going to look so clean and crisp and it's going to be magical. All right, so that goes like that. I do not know what that symbol is. It's not like a yen symbol or anything like that. Make editable again. This does have like an angular shape to it too. So these are both like, give me a second. Oh, no. Hold on. Uh-huh. Dan credits. Hold on. No, they're just like, they're just little dots. They're just funny little dots. So I think it's in a blur phase. So hold on. 4. Back to here. Drag this in there. I'm trying to do too much. This isn't anything like that at all. This is just like a bad blur problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get in there as close as possible. I'm going to make 2 shapes. I'm kind of glad I did that because I was like, what the heck kind of shapes are those? Copy V and then make these red. This is why I make them red, because you can see right through to the white. Make editable. Yeah, because it looked like there was even a line around them in the screen grab that I got. There's no line around these at all. They are just eyeballs. Who's texting me? I'm a very busy man right now. Let's do that, and perfect. I can probably expand that out just a smidge to fill that space. There's one. How close? Well, nah. All right, that's a little big, but let's see. Hold on. That's way big. Oh my God, it's way bigger than it should be. That's pretty close. Make that red. Let's see if I can move that over. Oh, whoa. Hold on. You gotta be kidding. Come on, man. There it is. This one's more circular, but it's still oblong slightly. Make editable. This is how much care I put into these. Sure, I could just put a circle in there. But no, it has to be. It has to match the original as closely as possible. All right, so that, let's see how close that is. It's a little large, just a smidge large. There we go. Good. I'll take both of those and make them white. Great. Awesome. See, I'm done now. I don't have to worry that I'm... Let's see where those go in here. I'm going to have to do these both at the same size. So I'll group them and then stretch them so they're both... So they remain this... That's not what I want to do at all, is it? That might be right. Let's see. Ungroup them. Ungroup. Who knew the eyes were going to be this much of a pain in my tush here? Huh. I got you, buddy. I hear you. I know. I'm paying attention to a different cat. How can that be? Perfect. Okay, great. So now I can get rid of you. You go in the garbage. That group. Bring them down, boys. Bring these eyes down to size. Ungroup them again. How bad are they? That's just, I do not know why they have lines in there because it didn't look like they had lines in the one we just watched. That one may have to be a bit smaller, but for now, we'll leave those as eyes. Those are eyes. So this one now is, oh, change the opacity on that to 100%. Do color fill on that one. Color fill should be, hold up. Okay. And then same thing with this one. Whoop. Color fill. Just make sure we got them both right. Great. And then I guess these two lines now can be the same color as before. That's this color. We've got cat face. We've got a cat face. And there's just one. There we go. Look at that. So we'll get all of this joined together, and I'll show you what this looks like. We still have to do his hand. We still have to do his hand. We've got his ears done, got his face. We got this hand, nose, little furry parts here, and then some quick little fixes on his, there, not his, there, body. Okay, we have that done. This one has this little body accoutrement, which is right here. It goes boop, boop, done. Make that a shh, and then bring that down to 4. Make editable. Bend that one slightly. Bring that down. How far up does that go? That goes up to there. Okay, shape, boom. Doing the same thing here, on there. Shape. This one's going to be interesting. I might make that a shaggy line. And same thing with this one, shape. I may make these two shaggy. We'll see. And then that's the gray color. I think that's the cat. Nose too. Hang on a sec. Shape. Let's get this cat nose done. Has an extra stop in there. Let's make it red. That's as far as I can zoom. I shouldn't have got rid of that one. Hold on. Oh, fudge. Did I do that? I don't want that there. Hold on. Back to the video. Back to the video. Let's go. Give me your nose, baby. Let's make a nose that counts. There we go. See how far I can zoom in now that I do that? Make editable. All right, bending nose, bending a cat nose. Schmoops. Schmoops. And then this goes down here. This goes here. This has a little bend to it, and then this comes back as a, that's a little cute. That's a cute little nose. That should work. Bop, 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 bop. Let's get rid of you. Let's bring you down to size, little nose, little cat nose. That's as far down as it goes. That's as far as I can shrink that cat nose. Let's tilt you just a smidge. All right, so that line should be, color fill is, what color is that? That's the same color. No, let's make that, let's do some artistic license. We'll make that that size. The line should be the same color as this line. And then a color fill should be the same color as the eyes. Wait. That's the artistic license. See, I gave myself artistic license to make the nose a different color. I did it. So that cat is pretty much dialed in. Now, the only other thing I have to do is add the, ooh, I'm going to add the shadow real quick. Shadow should be pretty straightforward. I am going to put a line in the shadow. So you'll see what that means. This goes up here, there, down, 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 up. Okay, but what I mean by putting a line in the shadow is that I will make the line jagged. So like that. So it looks like it has some kind of texture to it. And then, hold up. That goes there. This goes here. This gets bent down. And then, whoa, don't need that. That's down. How far? Ugh, make editable. Perfect. Whoop. Great. All right, let's do this. Bend. I may have to do this in 2 parts. We'll see. We will see, because I might still have some of the shadow hanging out at a certain point. Okay. That's too fat a line anyhow. This will be a sharp line. Make sharp point. Great. Drag you down. Awesome. Let's make this a smaller jagged line so it's not so obnoxious. And then we're going to fill it. So the fill and the line of the shadow is going to be the same color. So we're just going to do that. Perfect. Color fill. That's not the right color. That is not the right color. That's the right color. Okay. Awesome. So now it looks like it has a little texture. Then we're going to take this top cat, copy V. Awesome. Bottom cat now can be gray. Color fill. I think that's the right color. No, it is not. That's the right color. This is coming together. It's coming together quite nicely. So we've got the cat with the 2 shades of gray down below. I just have to change his chest. This has to be this line. This can be this line. And this can be this line too. All right, and then these 2 lines get reduced down dramatically in size. There's that. Same with this one. This goes to 4 at least. Maybe 3. Make editable. Perfect. I don't think perfect. Yep, there's 1. And then these are a little bit more shaggy. Make editable. So it looks more like make editable. Okay. That's fine. It's not perfect, but it's fine enough. All right. That's that. Now it's just the hand, right? I think it's just a hand. Shape. Boop. Have it bent because it's a paw, but it looks like a finger. Make this red. Make editable. I think I can just use this line. So like it has knuckles. Like it's bent in. See, that's the thing I'm talking about. Like you'd never notice that, like, wait, this cat's got knuckles. Until you do it yourself. Until you make it yourself and you're like, wow, that cat did have knuckles. What's that about? Cats have knuckles, I think. Maybe. I have cats, but I don't know if they have knuckles. They have little beans. And the beans might have knuckles. Okay. So that finger goes in, and then this gets bent in a little bit. So there's just like a little finger bent in. Yep. Okay, change line color to, boop. That would be that color, I think. Let me make sure. It's that color. Okay, so now I think that cat's done. Let's make sure. Oop, 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 oop. Okay, we got that, we got that, we got that. Okay, I just got to change these to 100% opaque. 100% opaque. 100% opaque. These have to be the blue color. I see ya. Neil, the guy who slept on the couch of Tommy and his parents was Keita Takahashi. Was that the... Wait, whoa, 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 whoa. Wait a minute. Hold on. Now you got me freaking... Thank you for looking that up. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. Good Lord. That... Oh my God. Blah, 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 blah. That's a pretty biggie to have sleeping on your couch. God dang. That's a pretty big deal. That's a big win. I'll put the link up. I'll take a look at it later. If you found that link, that'd be something I'll look at. Yeah, that's awesome. So I think we have all these lines at the same opacity. Opacity, yep, they're all at 100. That's at 100. All of these are at 100. 100, great. They're all at 100. So now what I have to do is I have to go in here and then change that to 100%. And I think we have our cat, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see if we have our cat. That's the hand up here. I can make that hand a little bit more like that. No, wrong direction. That's cool. That one I like. That one looks really good. Okay, and then this goes underneath. And then this all gets grouped, right? Group. Let's take a look at our cat, ladies and gentlemen. So, old cat and new cat. Hold on. Oh my God. I'm sorry, everybody. Oh my God. Wait, what did I just do? Hold on, everybody. I just completely blew up the... I did not mean to do that at all. Hold on, you freaking jerk. What did I do? I reduced the size of the chat to nothing. That was not on purpose. That's that. Hold on. That gets stretched out. Jeez, I am sorry, everybody. That was uncalled for. You didn't deserve that. Stretch you up a little bit. There you go. Okay, so now, and now I'm tiny. What the heck happened? I didn't even see that I was tiny. That's the most important part. I didn't mean to be so tiny. Okay, I don't need to be on top either. Why am I on top? That's better. Okay, good enough. Hold on. God dang it. Option. I just made the stream better by making me smaller. Again, I do not know why that's doing that. Let's move you up to the top. Is it? I don't know. It was sent via Discord, apparently on his Wikipedia page. There's a new article mentioning it. Freaking awesome. Thank you. Okay, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to leave that there. And then I'm going to zoom so you can see the difference between... Oh my God, please stop. Please stop that. The difference between these two cats. So one has a bunch of, well, again, around the line, there's artifacting, but you really can't see that. This has to be fixed up a little bit because it shouldn't be that sharp. What else do I got here? The tail's hidden, so you won't see that. I got some lines that I could clean up around there. And these lines have to be blue too, so that got to be fixed. But it's not bad. Not bad at all, cat. This one, and this one have to be the different kind of blue, which is this, right? That's too light. This one. You jerk. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, everybody. It's under the references. It's reference 11. Thank you so much. Doing Lord's work right now. I guess it was the right color. Okay, so we've got the cat knocked out. I don't know what this plus thing is. That'll be gone when we're done. It won't be there when I hit play. Yeah. So we've got gold bars. We've got some gold bars, and we've got that cat. So now let's move you down below. Move you down below. Hold on. This cat down here goes to the bottom because I'm not sure what to do with it. But the difference in these two right now, let's get rid of the view, hide, object list. All right, this is what we've got. When we go between the two, got some gold work to do, but that's all right. I'm feeling good about that. Now we just got to do Turbo Granny and clean up those gold coins and we're done. Not bad. Not bad, everybody. All right, first things first. Let's get Turbo Granny shape. Got to go back to object list again. Back to object list. Zoom in on you. We're just doing the outline. And where can we hide the one? Where can we hide that line? Hold on. I just got to find out where to hide it. I guess we'll hide it in the top. When you seam something together, it needs to be seamed. That's kind of what I'm working on. So this goes down like that. Up. We're just working on the outlines right now. Just working on the outline. I think everybody can see that. Perfect. Down. Boop. This is almost completely round. That's fine. That's almost a straight shot. That's almost a straight shot. Lots of roundness in Turbo Granny. That's cool. What I mean is like the character is built with a lot of swoopy lines to represent the same, the good luck cat, which is probably more ceramic. So that's probably why it's built like this. Like more swoopy, like soft clay built lines. And then that's that. Great. We've got the outline of Turbo Granny. Now we're going to make it red. And we're going to change it to, I think we're going to use the bump. The gold coins are that. We're going to use this. We're going to bring this to 6. And then we're going to just start messing with this. All right. It's not perfectly swoopy line. You can tell right there. You can see like how. Hold up. Make sharp point. And especially there. Great. This can probably be dropped to 5. It's a 5-point outline. We're doing it. Hey, Ark, I don't know if you have seen. Wait. The coins make me think of Meowth, which is funny because it's also cat. I wonder if it's all part of the same trope because I'm learning that there are a lot of legends and like iconic things that happen in Japanese society that is like falls completely off our radar. Like this good luck cat. It's a like I had no idea that it was a great. I have one of them and I can't remember the name of it. Hold on. I have to ask. I don't want to yell it. Hey, Grace, what kind of cat is Nova? A calico. Thank you. Calico. I can't believe I couldn't come up with that. Yeah, it's a calico cat. And so Meowth might be the same. I do not know. Yeah. And again, you see them and you don't put it together. You don't piece it together until it's like, until you're on the live stream years later. You're like, oh my God, I never even thought of that before. Let's go boop. Hold on. That goes there. Everybody can see that? Great. Zoom, zoom, zoom. We almost got this outline. You can see why I wanted to do the top, because look how thin that line gets at the top. You'll see it. See how thin it gets? Because that brush doesn't like to be, that brush has its own ideas for how to finish up an illustration. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to redo that ear because I had no idea it was gonna be that dramatic. This will be a sharp point. This will be a straight. Yeah, I may have to redo some of these lines. That's okay. We can do it. It's part of the process, baby. Yeah, but you just don't think about, like you were saying, that it's part of. Well, again, we didn't get the entire onslaught of anime until like Adult Swim started making it more and more appealing. But I was there in the 90s where people were having to buy videotapes, 3 episode per. Like when I bought Tenchi Muyo, Tenchi in Love. Actually, I like the original OVA Tenchi, but like I was buying those 3 episodes per at $25 each. That's $8 an episode. That's crazy. But when Adult Swim started airing them and people got to see like Cowboy Bebop and Outlaw Star and Trigun and all that stuff, really kind of amped things up. So you got super entrenched in those tropes until you find a show you like and start tracing back some of the stuff and you're like, wait a minute. That's crazy. I had no idea. That's a lucky cat. And Meowth is just Meowth is one of my favorite characters on that. I like Jesse James. Jesse and James. Jeez, oh man. I know. God, I know. All right, I know it's Jesse and James. Taken off again. I used to sell a lot of Pokemon to kids back in my old video game store days. So I had to have some understanding. And also, when the kids would come in and sing the Pokemon rap to me, I had to act like that's a totally normal thing to do. Like their parents would be humiliated. And I'm like, nah, it's freaking great. It's totally fine. Dude, are you kidding me? It's the fact that they like it's teaching them a lifelong appreciation of singing and memorizing like their music, and that makes them great. Meanwhile, I'm just like, God dang, I did the same exact stuff when I was a kid. Far more embarrassing, but none of it ever recorded, thank God. All right, I think we're done on the outline. I think that was much less painful than expected. And we just have one swoosh here, which is good. So apparently Meowth is based on the Meneki Neko, beckoning cat figurine. Supposed to bring luck. That's exactly what this is too. This is supposed to bring, this is good fortune, I think, is what this cat is. Ooh. All right, I'm going to do the bottom shadow because we just did it, so now I know what to do. Take this, up, 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 down, 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 down. This will be easier for me in the long run. Just because I don't have to remember what I'm doing, because I do. This goes like that. We'll bring that up to here. Stretch this to here. Hold on. I'll be with you in 1 second. Jesse. I was playing the claw game and had the Jesse James and Meowth plushies that someone made and made me realize how sad. Oh, well, there's a big claw resurgence here in the US. Those things are luckily, well, I mean, they're not the official, but you might be pleasantly surprised to know how many knockoffs there are of those exact things that you loved in the past. Yeah, claw games are a huge business out here right now. Like you'll just take your entire company out for uh, go instead of going to like a bowling alley or whatever. Now you're going to a claw game, and they pay by the hour, and you go in there, and it's just funny to me. I never would have thought of that. So now I got to get this color. Hold on, that is the dark shadow. Perfect. And then I'm going to do light shadow, which is this one. That's the light shadow. Perfect. So line is that, and then unfill. Hold up, color fill. That is going to be the same dark shadow. Great. We got it. Awesome. They have places dedicated. Yeah, claw machines are a huge thing in Japan. They have places dedicated to just claw machines. Yep, same here. Blew my mind. Like I could not get over. I'm like, how we had 3 within like a 2-mile radius, like just pop up. And I'm like, first off, what is it? And second off, why are there so many of them? And yeah, it was just odd to me. Not that I'm not claw shaming anybody. Heaven forbid. All right, there's that. We've got that one blocked out. Look at this, dude. We've got the top done. We've got this thing done. Dude, we're freaking crushing it right now. I'm going to put this up on top. Those 2 are done. So now we just have to do these little marks there. And then again, we're working back to front. So we're going to do the back stuff. I'll put these little paws in first, because who doesn't like to do the little beans? There's 1 bean, 2 bean. Let's make 2 bean shapes. Bean, 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 bean. Look at all those beans. This will be, I think we'll just do I guess we can do regular lines for these because it doesn't look like there's any artistic flourishes on these. Hang on a sec, make editable. That one can go. That goes right there. Let's see how, actually, I'm screwing up here. Hang on. How bad is that? You guys ate already. Make editable. Hold up. There's that. Just want to make sure we got these. There's the point right there. As accurate as possible. All right, that's 1. And then we're going to say color fill. And then we're going to color fill it with that color. Really? That doesn't seem right. Oh, it is? It is. Wow, that's weird. Line should be, hold up everybody. I'm going to make it this color. It's slightly blue. Perfect. Make that 100%. 1 bean done. Toe beans. Gachapon is their official name. So, okay. So again, this is so funny you mentioned this. The same places have dedicated capsule machines. I know the gachapons because you see, I was in Japan. That's right. I was in Japan. No, and I also played Shenmue, and Shenmue had those gachapon machines. That's how I knew about them in the first place. Hold on, I'm just going to stretch this out to see if this is going to make it easier. It doesn't look like it's going to make it any easier. In fact, it might make this harder. Hold on. Looks like I also have to make a few of these. Hold up. Hold up. Yeah, the little coin toss. We have these bookstores here in town called Kinokuniya bookstores. It's a Wujimaya grocery store that has a Kinokuniya bookstore attached to it. And they have a ton of gachapon machines now. That's the only reason I know about it. So Shenmue, I got very, very lucky on how I got to go to Japan. I recognize how fortunate I am. And let me, it's not a super long story time, but I had a very bad business partner when I was working on game publishing. So I was helping getting indie games published, and I wound up bringing this person in who is a game developer that I thought was a game developer, but it was not a game developer. He was somebody who stole his team's game. They were working on it in college, and he wound up assigning himself the IP. So he basically took all of their work and was marketing the game as he had developed it himself, which was very, very problematic. I found that out way too late. But we had already started doing work, bringing other indies in to help work with them. And uh, that guy, um, he, listen, he's a problematic person. I already said it. But the one thing he did do is he talked about like you got to envision what you want. Like if you want to go to Japan, you got to put it in the thing that you want to do list. It's got to be like, what do you want out of this conversation? What do you want out of this job? What do you want out of this thing? And at one point, we were at an event, and I'm like, I don't really have any reason to be here. It was like a party. I think it was an Amazon Games party, and I'm like, I don't want to be here. Um, Amazon Games had already written me off at one point. They were whatever. That's a 2 drink minimum conversation. So I was like, he goes, well, what do you want out of it? And I'm like, you know what? At this one point, I said, I would love the context to establish me getting to Japan. Like, let's find something that happens here at this event that gets me to Japan. And God dang it. And oh my God, no, that was hilarious. And you know what? Here's the thing. During that party, he actively was starting conversations for me, being like, someone would be like, why are you here? What are you doing here? Like, what's your, what do you do with Amazon and all that stuff? And I wasn't pitching going to Japan. I just said that was what I wished going into the event. Like, yeah, if I could find the context to go to Japan, you can do it. And wouldn't you know it, the person that I had, later found out to be kind of a scammy guy, he was actually having conversations about people in Japan and talking about like, hey, this guy wants to go to Japan and whatever, and or like asking people what they were up to and what's their, what do you have planned? What's going on in your, you know, near future? Can we set up meetings? And one of them said that, oh, I'm going to be going to Japan. And he's like, oh, my partner wants to go to Japan. And I, like, not even 8 months later, I was in Japan. So because he established the context with this team that I was planning on going to Japan. And so here's the other thing. It wasn't just that. It wasn't just that happened. I had a family, like my family members in the military, and they were in, we'll just say the government. My family's in the government. And they were stationed in Japan, and they were there for 2 years. And they were they were stationed there for 4 years technically because they were going to go to the Olympics. That was why they wanted to get stationed in Japan so they can go to the Olympics, which didn't happen because of coronavirus. Because the Akira they let out Akira, and Akira took over Japan. Do you remember that happened? It was crazy. But yeah, like that's I got to stay with somebody there. Even if I could go to Japan, I couldn't afford going to Japan. That would cost thousands of dollars. Like I had to pay for the ticket. The ticket alone was $2,000, which was crazy. One day I will go, just like one day I will come to America and meet Sonic when this whole mess blows over. Oh yeah. Or like we'll be living under your floorboards. Just find some closet space for us. We may be coming over. Yeah, it's just stupid, ridiculous. If anybody comes to America, I'm so sorry. Like I don't understand. I understand very little, but what I do understand is that everything we've been told about who we are and what we stand for is all just baloney. And I realized that not just recently. I realized that 20 years ago. I actually started writing my book about that called The Scariest Roller Coaster Ever. It's a book. It exists. And I quote it quite often. This is like double plug on my podcast. No, my new podcast, I'm like talking about Poison Oaks, the animated series we're working on. And I keep pulling stories from that book because it's like back then under Bush, it's like we did such horrible things, Patriot Act and all that nonsense. We like getting TSA at the airports. Like this is so many violations of human rights. Um, and it's just like that book doesn't seem to age. It seems to get better because it just points out all the stuff that's happening now. You're like, that sucked. Um, yeah. And I apologize to the rest of the world because we've been so brainwashed here that we don't understand that this has been the way we've treated the world the whole time. We've just been insulated from it. Yeah, it's nuts. So I apologize to everybody who's within earshot. I've never believed in American exceptionalism. Never. Like even growing up, I was like, what the heck? Why are we singing the national anthem? Why is God in there? Why is God at the beginning of our school day? Like there's separation between church and state. Like even as a kid, we're learning that stuff, and you're like, well, why do we say God in the national anthem? Isn't that wait? Is that supposed to happen? Why is God on our money? Isn't that supposed to happen? Well, it all happened in the freaking 50s, post-war. Like basically, we became like the thing we hated, like super nationalist and Christian nationalist, which is the absolute epitome of just oof. Don't even oof. As a youth minister, which I was for real, uh, I realized at 17 that it was a scam. I went from the Catholic Church to the Methodist Church to the Baptist Church, and I cannot tell you a more backwards trajectory. But I did it, and what was nuts is that wow, it wasn't getting any better. It was somehow getting worse, going from well, believing Catholicism from Methodist was it wasn't aggressive enough with their restrictive ideology. I was like, I need something a little bit more like you're guilty of everything. What do you got? And they're like, well, how about Baptist? And boy, did that deliver. That Baptist, oof, and that's not even Southern Baptist. That's like Appalachia Baptist, which is like watered down. Southern Baptist, man, that is freaking hardcore. You are like, you can't get out of it. You're indoctrinated from the get go. Color fill. Look at this. We're just cruising now. I'll change this line color to the same line color. Hold on. We've got we got Turbo Granny pretty much done. Well, not done, but we've got a good heady start on this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the line tool here. Watch, not that. That's text tool. I'm going to do one more thing here. Hold up. I'm going to change this. That's a dark red. Okay. We're going to get the shape tool. We're going to go boop, 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 ding, dong, ding, dong, dingly doo. And then we're going to change that stroke to that. And then we're going to reduce the stroke down to that. 4. We'll make it 4. And then we're going to change that stroke. Hang on a sec. Is this still book buyable? No. No. Hang on a sec. I have a few places to meet you in Sonic. Double Jump Video Games. Oh, yes. Yes. I'm right there. That's exactly where I am. I'm just south of Vancouver. Is this book still buyable? No. Haven't you made? I did. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm not free of sin. And I had a lot of, again, I was raised in Pennsylvania. So a lot of the things that I used to say that I thought were totally fine, like I used to say the F word all the time. And I don't mean the FU word. I mean the FA word. Like, don't be an FA, right? Like I'd say that because it was just part of, like, everybody said it. And just being, don't, like, when you said gay, gay was just like the South Park terminology for gay, right? Like, don't, or no, it was the South Park terminology for the F word, but also in terms of like, but I was throwing it out there just like standard adjectives. And that I look back on and be like, wow, I was really free to do whatever to bury myself in any way I pleased. And yeah, that's why the book's not available. Because it's yeah, it's like kind of it's from a time, it's from a different time. Yeah, I don't have any. And again, it was a book that I did myself. I self-published that book, and so it was available like from my blog and from my eBay store. Good Lord, I'm dating myself. This is tremendously bad. Hold on, I'm going to move this up. I just got to do headphones here. We've got the ears done. And now I just got to do the headphones. Let me do those headphones now. Yeah, again, it's problematic. The ideas are sound, but the delivery could be a little heavy-handed at times. Like ignorant, not even heavy-handed, just stupid. I was insular. I was raised in like uh, Pennsylvania, which is what I say. So very few, like, um, like my whole family makes, like, builds bridges and not works in coal mines. Like they do like cement layers, right? Like they're craftsmen. They built bridges, they laid cement, and so my vernacular growing up around them was coarse. It was what was at the time. And don't even get me started. My grandfather used to run hooch during Prohibition. He was officially part mafioso at a certain point. And so, like, and it wasn't like, hey, forget about it, get out of here. It was like, you're going to keep doing that? You're like, I will freaking disembowel you like a fish. Like, it was not happy. Like, lessons from your grandfather. Like, oh, you're my little boy. Yeah, you get one more time, I'm gonna. I mean, you're like, oh God, that's terrifying. But yeah, so I went from that to um, this, like, the suburbs in the 80s, American suburbs. So I went from that to like a totally different um, universe of like communication. And in that, like, some of that stuff stayed around. Some of those, you know, those choice words stayed around, and that made you cool. Oh, wait, your grandfather uses that? Like, where'd you learn how to talk like that? You're like, it made you appealing to neighborhood kids where you'd say things and you'd be like, you know, it's like adolescent crap. But that stuck with me. And then when I moved out to the West Coast, I'm in like progressive land. I'm in Seattle, Portland, San Francisco, Los Angeles, and I'm using the same vernacular. And I'm like, why is this not being like, don't you understand what I mean? What I mean when I say the F word is, I mean, just, it doesn't translate very well. Um, Hang on a sec. I think I selected too many things. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to color fill those. Not that color. I'm going to color fill that with the color fill. What? Where's my color? You got to be kidding me. Hold on. Oh, it's the same color as the skin? How is that possible? I'm going to make that slightly lighter. See, this is my artistic license that I'm doing here. Because it should be lighter, right? Is it not? It is. It is lighter. Hold on. Hold on. No, unlock you. Hold up. Let's go here. Let's change this to, it's light. drag that into my colors, then do this, highlight these three and say color fill and drag that color over. Great. It should be done. Is it done? Yeah, it is. You saying those things make sense. Were you from the East Coast? Yes, 100%. I was from the East Coast, born and raised. White trash. Yeah, it is true. My it takes my wife by surprise sometimes. Um, she's like, "Why are you so coarse?" She's like Ned Flanders, though. My wife is more. Um, she was raised right, but see, she was drawn to me like a moth to the flame because I'm such gutter trash, and that's what I tell my kids. I'm like, listen, you're half gutter trash, and someone's gonna love that about you. Not me. I hate everybody, but someone's gonna love that about you. You're a street rat. You're like Aladdin. That's good. See, they need to know those things every so often. Shape. We're crushing this right now. So this one is going to be awesome. Watch this. We got boop, and then this little curve in. That's going to be a perfect one when we change that to orange, and not orange. Um, what is that? That is, what is that? Coral. That color is coral. I only know that because I know not to trust people who wear colored shorts in the summertime. They're spawn of the devil. They're like, you can see them on golf courses all the time, but they're not to be trusted. They're bad humans. Anybody who wears coral is a bad human being. Now you can have a coral iPhone skin. That's totally legit. That's totally acceptable. Because it's like, oh, it's coral iPhone skin. But when you start wearing coral shorts around, you have way too much confidence. Someone needs to take you down a peg, and if they aren't, and if you're still confident wearing them, we've got problems. We've got fingers nailed down right now, folks. Look at that. We've got fingers. This is crazy. We've got cat fingers. This is going to be let's make that coral. And let's make those make editable. Hold on. I will be right there. I mean, you've learned from your mistakes and you don't want your kids following the same route. Right. I do want some of the same thing for my kids. Um, I want them to be ashamed as much as I was of everything that I did. So I try to instill that as much as I can. Like they'll do the Pokemon rap, and I'm like, really? Does that not make you feel? No. Yeah, like I don't want my kids to like. I've been doing a lot of righting the wrongs of the past. Faux show. That is not. There were a lot of problems with the way I was raised, and and you've probably heard this in America. This is not a joke. Let me know if you've heard this one. In America, in the 80s, they had to run TV ads. I mean, you want them to do the good things, but I meant the bad things. Yeah, well, here's the thing. It's a bad thing that I want them to do. So you're like, what the heck? Now I'm really intrigued. And I'll just stretch this as long as possible. But in the 80s in America, they had ads on the television that said, it's 10 o'clock or it's 9 o'clock. Do you know where your kids are? On TV, you'd be watching as an adult, you'd be watching television, and the TV would have to remind you that you had kids. And that's when you do usually hear parents being like, Jenny, Rebecca, where are you? Like kids were gone all day. And like that's the stuff that I really want my kids to do. And they do, by the way. My kids do stay out. They do things like my son would just to a fault, like throw it in my face, like being gone all day. And I'm like, you never come home and see me. It's cats in the cradle, but I asked for this. You had those there too. Yeah, it was like they abandoned kids for some reason. It was like a thing to do. You're like, hey, wouldn't it be great if we didn't have to take care of the things that we made, sure, let's do it. I'm all for it. That's the way society handled it. Pretty nuts, if you ask me. Oh, god dang. Why are we so close there? What did we miss? I think, hold on. Is it this one? No, it's this one. This one's got to go behind that one, right? Yeah. But that's not right either. God dang it. This one has to go behind too. I just had them stacked wrong. Okay. Okay, so we've got the headphones. We've got the hands. We've got the ears. We've got the top parts. I think we've chugged a ton of this. We're doing great. We've got this whole hand done. I think we only have this part to do. I think that's the only part. So I'm going to make a shape there just to remind myself to make a shape. There's that. Great. Then we've got whiskers, but the whiskers are on the face, so they don't extend out. So I'm just going to do one shape, two shape, three shape. These are solid lines. There's not like a real brush strokey thing on them. Shape. This one's the reverse. So that's going to start sharp and go to that. Same thing, shape. Hold on, we're gonna have this face done here soon. Shape. That goes to that. I see you texting, big dog. And then they wonder why we were tired the next day. Right, exactly. Okay, we had those here. They would run to check rooms. It happened when I stayed at a friend's when I was a kid. Parents ran in and woke us up, then wondered why we were tired the next day. And it happened every time. Yeah, it's crazy. We'd be gone like all day. And like when the street lights would come on, you'd be like, my parents would say I have to be home by the street lights, but we were playing hide and seek and we were doing all that stuff. So I'm like, oh, we're in the middle of a game of hide and seek. They didn't care. But then they would get mad at us if we didn't have our showers or baths done in time. Like if we tried to stay up a little bit after work. So we would be out all day, be in the house for 15 minutes. And they're like, you didn't get a bath yet? Yeah. And they'd start yelling at us. And then they're like, you're like, you better have done your homework. And we're like, we didn't do any fucking homework. What are you talking about? They get mad at you for that. Yeah, that's the stuff I want my kids to have. Like to know it's important. Being with friends is important. Like having fun is important, especially when you're a kid. That's what I want them to have. And I didn't like I had all of that access and I never did like I didn't do drugs until way later. I was like 9. Drugs at all. We were like hanging out doing stuff. There was stuff to do. Um, and you know, you got yeah, you didn't search that stuff out. And that's what I tell this is the other thing I tell my kids when they have a kid in their class that's going squirrely, like spiraling out and doing drugs. I'm like, something's not going right. And it's something not going right for them. And I said, it's not the kid's fault. The kid's trying to find answers. The kid's trying to figure life out and he doesn't have the support. So he looks to escape or she looks to escape. That's what you do. And so I cannot tell you how many times I've been vindicated by that too, where my son will, it's invariably my son. Oh, no, it's my son and daughter. No, I kidding. Both of them have come up to me and being like, hey, remember this person that I had problems with? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, yeah, their parent was just taken away for, you know, doing things to other kids in church. Probably something going on that they were dealing with and they had no idea or none of the tools and they were told to keep quiet and they realize that the world is a lie, but they don't matter. Their parents matter and their lie matters. And so kids can't deal with that. It's too much. I always got, what is this? Piccadilly Circus? Every time we would walk out, I always got, what is this? Piccadilly Circus? Every time we would walk in and out throughout the day. Yeah, it's like inside or outside. I didn't pay to air condition the outside. We would create our own fun. Yeah, 100%. And some of that fun was good old fashioned fun, and some of it was like, oh God, I learned a very valuable lesson. I will never do that again. I almost killed somebody by accident. I say that. But no, I almost killed somebody with a weed whacker. One of those, it's a scythe. I think about it. It wakes me up at night. Nothing happened. Nothing happened at all. Person's still alive. They're lovely. But as a kid, we would dig holes. And like that's what you would do. Like we're gonna make a playhouse, and I'm gonna dig these holes. And yeah, you would dig holes, and then you're like, oh, we got this big patch of weeds that I gotta weed whack out. And yeah, we had a handheld scythes, like basically just like double, like swinging the baseball bat. And it's still, I'll prove it to you. They're in my basement. They're tied up right now, but they're alive. It's been a few weeks. I should run some water down to them. But no, they were just a, and again, what was terrible is I actually liked this. It was a girl. I'm not going to tell you her name. It's Debbie. But I liked her in the neighborhood. But that's not saying much because I like, there were like two girls in the neighborhood. It's like, yeah, you got 47 boys and two girls. So, of course, I like them. And can you imagine if I did kill that person? Oh my God, I would be the most unpopular kid in school because there were only two of them. No, so what? I was swinging the weed whacker and I swung, and of course, my hands are covered in whatever we were digging in sewage. I don't know. I don't know. We were digging in something and it slipped out. And I looked over because we're in the woods. And the thing passes her head by inches. And I'm like, it was a sharp bladed, double sided scythe that went right by her head, right by her neck. I think about that. It wakes me up. She's alive. But again, that could have been the end of my life. I would have been doing drugs and my kids would have been talking. Well, I wouldn't have had kids, but the kids that no, I can't even make this story sound legit. I was going to say that I would be a cautionary tale to other kids. Like, why is Neil on drugs all the time? Because he can't silence the voices in his head for what he's done. And it was an accident, but he did it. I didn't do it. It didn't happen, but it could have happened. Yes. Whoa, that escalated fast again. Yeah, a lot of stories like that happen. Remind remind me. This is an after dark story, but remind me to tell you how I wound up in the police station on acid after I witnessed an assault. Yeah, I witnessed an assault. I was the only person who witnessed it. Me and the guy I was walking with witnessed an assault, and it was mayhem. But we were on drugs, so it could have been the drugs talking. But no, it was mayhem, and yeah, we had the decision to make of like, we're out of our minds. We're going to lose our minds. And, but we witnessed the whole thing. So we had to go to the police station. And I don't even know if I can explain how stupid that was, but I can assure you, if you get your hands on the police report, what we wrote about the situation is the dumbest thing you'll ever read in your life. Because, dude, we were right at the peak of like visuals and whatever. Like we were losing our minds. We're in a police station. God, the best. the Dude, this is so good. This is my favorite part. Okay, we wind up in a police station on LSD, by our own hand. We did it. We went in there to be like, we got to file this police report. Oh my God, so funny. And we realize when we're in fluorescent lights in this police station how absolutely toasted we were. We were completely gone. And under the fluorescent lights, my friend is looking at me and he says, I look green, like as green as this jacket. He goes, my skin is green. And I said, you look like he looked 100%. He was sweating and he was very fair skinned and he was kind of a ginger. He looked like his head was on fire, like his skull was on fire. So we're having this conversation. So we both are like, we got to go into the bathroom to pull ourselves together, right? So he goes first, and I'm like, I don't have to go. But as soon as he left, I'm like, I can't be left alone. I got to go use the bathroom too. I should use the bathroom. So I go out into the hallway and see the sign for bathroom, and I open the door, and it's a one-person bathroom, which I was unaware of. I open the door and I go in there, and I'm like, oh shoot, I thought this was a multi-person bathroom. And we're like laughing at each other, looking in the mirror, and we're like, oh God, this is terrible. And then we get a knock at the door and we open it up and there's a cop there. And he's like, what are you two guys doing? We're like, oh, you guys in the bathroom of the cop station in a single person occupancy bathroom. And we're like, oh, we just thought it was more than a one person bathroom. Um, then we get to write the document, like our witness statement. And boy, um, I was like struggling to write, and I was writing in cursive at the time because that's how I write, because I was artistic, very fancy boy. And yeah, I was writing in cursive, and I was like, I can't join words together. I can't make any sense out of this thing. And I look over at my friend's, my partner in crime, and he is writing. He needs another piece of paper. He's writing so fast, and he's writing stories like, it all started when he's writing a freaking story, a Mark Twain-esque tome of what happened. And I'm like, I've got to find these police reports. They would be absolutely freaking hilarious to read. Just absolutely out of our minds, batshit. Yep. So those are stories that I'll save for. Those are 2 drink minimum stories because they get funnier. And how we got out of that was crazy. Because thank God for curfew, right? We had a bunch of kids come in who had been out after curfew and said that the thing on the bridge that we witnessed caused the traffic to back up and they couldn't get home on time. And with time dilation, I'm like, that's possible. When you're under the under the spell, we'll say, of LSD, you have no concept of time or temperature or anything like that. So we were like, that's fine. But you realize, like, wait a minute, they were supposed to be home at midnight or before midnight, and they came into the police station closer to like 1 o'clock. And I'm like, oh, geez, they must have been just busted. They must have seen the thing, then went somewhere else and got busted for being out. But they're like, what was the bridge? We got stuck on the bridge. And they made such a scene and they were such a bunch of liars that they just ignored the 2 guys hanging out in the bathroom together. That was us. We were in the bathroom together. Again, nothing nefarious. Just a couple of bros in the 90s trying to figure out how your face works. Because that's about the mental state we were at. We were not very much lucid at that point. All right, I think we're good. I think we've got I think we're gonna make this a single point. Wait, that's too small. Let's make this that's way too heavy. Let's make it that 2 point that, and then we'll make that color. Hold on. Perfect. Okay, we're gonna fill this color fill. And that's the stuff you experience when you go out, like when your kids. Imagine they hadn't done any damage. Imagine if it hadn't done any damage but cut the hair off. Hang on a sec. Imagine if it hadn't done any damage but cut the hair off. Oh, yes, you're talking about the freaking earlier thing. I just missed that. Again, I am very, very fortunate that that did not end worse than it did. No hair was even cut off. So how close could it have been, really? I mean, really, how close was that? It was very close. It was unfortunately something that still haunts me to this day because I think about it. You just have those like awful moments of like, did that really happen? Yes, it did. Yes, it did. And you were almost the arbiter of death for somebody who just was like coming up to see, what are you guys doing? You guys making another fort? And then I get freaking 25 to life. It wasn't part of the plan. My plan was not to murder someone that day. I didn't. They're still alive. 100%. I can. There aren't any news reports. I would say I'd show you the news report saying local boy doesn't kill somebody, but that they don't make news reports like that. Local close shave at local ditch digging. Local ne'er-do-well. Neil Bowers is like almost decapitates his friend, then the only girl in town. They don't write stories like that. I don't know why. They would be great tabloids for the schools. Great material. All right, so we've got the head. Are we done with the head? Are we kidding me? Wait, do we have the head done? We got the nose. It's not color filled. Hang on a sec. Hold on. It's that color. What an ugly color that is. Whew. Let's change this. Okay. Style. Color fill. It's that ugly color. Hold up. And then the line should be this color. Let's just get this. It's not yellow. It's not yellow. It's not this color either, but I'm doing that for now. So that's this color. Great. Just wound up ruining my window there. There we go. Let's go to color fill and put that color in. There we go. Okay, so we've got the eyes done. We've got the head done. I really do think we've got most of this done, except for the chest part. That's. I think I got to do this chin and that, and I think we're pretty close to done here. Holy cow, guys! I'm impressed with how quickly we've chewed through this thing. Let's make this one that color. Let's do this, and then I mean seriously, have your dang day back or night back, depending on what time it is. Make editable. Let's go whoop. And then zoop. And then bring this way in. Okay, that's that. But you know what? I'm just getting lazy now. That's fine. That should be good. Make editable. Let's bend you up just slightly. Perfect. Okay, let's see how close we are. We've got this one. That's the headphones. I'm going to move this all the way down here. Jeez, oh man. We'll move you down here. These are the beans. Group. Let's see how far along we are. Let's see how much we got. We've got so much. We've got so much. Okay, so now we just got to fill this bad boy with the right color. 1 second. I have to go to the bathroom so bad. Hold on. All right, done. And I washed them. My hands are washed. We're good. Thank you, everybody. All right. I'm just going to fill in the, no, 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 no. I got one more thing to do. Let me go down here to this group. I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to say ungroup. There we go. I still got some lines to finish up here. Hold on. This one and this one are both going to be the same. Perfect. Make editable. Good. Great. Then this one, make editable. Okay. This one can be lighter. Make this a 2. Great. Those two are done. This is flying right now. Make editable. This goes like that. Make this a more of a sketchy line and then bring that down to 3 is good. Let's do the same here. Make this, we'll do this down to 3. 6, 5, 4, 3. Make editable. We're coming up on the 2-hour mark. Oh, we're at 2.5 hours. But I'm going to fix this up so we have like this will be almost done and cleaned up in 3 hours, which is crazy. These usually take a little bit longer than that. So even coming in cold, I feel doing all right. And it's the best way for me to start my week because it gets my brain going, makes me think about all the things I'm ignoring to do. Oh, the stuff I'm ignoring, you wouldn't believe it. So we're going to shape this. I don't know if we have this one yet. We might, but I don't remember seeing it. Let's go boink. 7654. That should be good. We'll clean these up. Hey, and I appreciate you, Ark. Imagine, yeah. It's always great having you here. So we're going to start back. We're going to start in the back first. And the back is going to be, this is going to be the most pronounced thing. 1, 2, 3. And these can be bubbly. Like the very first problem we had. Like right there's a bubble. Right there's a bubble. Right there's one. Here's another. Like we can make them bubbly. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Come on. 4, 5. That's a bubble right there. You'll see what I mean by bubble in a second. It's a nodule. That's what it is. It's more of a nodule than a bubble. All right, so that's that. And this can go, that can stay down. That can stay down. Hold on. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to do this. It doesn't make a difference because I'm going to change that. So it doesn't make a difference. You'll see what I mean. Okay, so now we're going to change this to red, and we're going to change the line to bumpy, because that's what that is. That is bumpy. Make this slightly opaque so you can see what I'm doing here. Yeah, that's that. Hold on. That's good. That's good. There's a little nodule right there. That's fine. Nodules are fine. We'll make one nodule right there. Not 2. Great. This one can come down. I'll explain why this one can come down. Because I have to recreate this thing. All right. So that's that. Then we do what comes in front of that. The text. So I'm going to do shape. I'm going to do that. 1. And we're going to make that this, not make that this. I think it's going to be this bumpy line again. God dang it. Is that true? Let's see. I think so. It can probably be a 3. No, it's going to be a 4. Make editable, slightly bent. Great. Copy V. Make editable. Perfect. Little bulbous end on that. Copy V. There is one here. It's kind of hidden, but make editable. That goes there. This text is going to be on top, so you won't really see it. This one's here. Make editable. Pop. This one looks a little bit more sketchy than the other. Make sharp point. Come on. Yeah, that's the problem with the bulbous line. That's close enough. It doesn't look great, but I might change that one. I might change that to a different line. This one's definitely changing. The one on the bottom is going to change. This one's going to change. Shape from here to here. It's going to be that sketchy line. 76543. 2. Okay. Make editable. You'll see what I'm doing. You're like, well, that doesn't look right at all. Like, just give me a minute. Just hang on a second. Same with this one. This one has to be this line. 76543, 2, 1, 2. That's good enough. All right. So we've got different quality of lines on that one. That's back. Then what comes in front of that are these shapes. It's this one. I think we can get most of that one in. Boop, doot, doot, doot. Okay, that is purple. I'll just do a sketchy line on that one and then bring it down to, yep. Hold up. We're getting there. That's my catchphrase. We're getting there. This gets in there. That's like that. This gets bent up. This gets bent up too. You'll see what I'm doing. So shape, let's do another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I have to create one more thing for this, right in that corner. That's okay. Let's go. It's going to be a sketchy one, and I think it's 2 points. Let's go make editable. Come on. 1. That goes up, comes down a little bit. This goes like that. This gets bent. Okay, and then that's fine. This comes up. That's good. I think that's good, right? That's that. That's that. Okay. That should be fine. And I'm going to make this one too. Hold on. That's what I have to do there. Let's make that just this. 76543, 2. You'll see what I'm doing there. When I do color fill for that one, that's going to be this color. It'll work. It'll work. Trust me. It's going to work. So this one I'm going to have to do, I'll start here. Doing this one backwards. You'll see what I mean when I'm all done with this. That goes like that, 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 that. Okay. I'm gonna have to go purple on this one, or coral on this one, because I think this needs a little bit of finessing. Coral, opacity low. Okay. I can't zoom in any further, so we're gonna have to do it like that. Like there's that curve. There's that. Okay. That seems fine. That seems fine. Okay. All right. These don't look perfectly parallel, but we'll see about cleaning that up once everything is together. Yeah, because these lines don't seem parallel to me. But that's okay, because they might not be. We may have found a flaw in Dandadan's text here. Let's change that to black. And then, yeah, make editable. God dang it. Come on. This has to be up slightly. Okay. 1 and then 2. That should be fine. Okay. Make this a twofer and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2. All right. Make that 100%. That's 1%. We'll make that 2%. This is 2%. Yep. All those are 2%. These all get color fill. Color fill. That's not the color fill I want. I want that. Color fill. That's the wrong color fill. Okay, and then line is black. Okay, great. And then I think the lines go in the front. Am I wrong? Are the lines in the front? Oh my God. Now I can't remember. Now I can't remember. Holy cow. Hang on, hold on a second. Are the lines in the front? No, they're in the back. Okay. Great. So now we got to, that's like that. I just gotta make sure we have everything that we need there. This is the plate. So this is gonna be black too. Okay. All of this gets grouped. Awesome. And then I'm gonna hide that. Hold on. I'm gonna hide that. Great. And now we just do the headphones and let's see how far along we are. We've got this little bell to make too. Shape. Bell. Making a bell. Making a little cat bell. I have one of these cat bells. I know I do. For our little kitty cats. Back is like that. This is a little cat bell. Little cat bell. And then this is, come on. There we go. There we go. That's cat belly. Make editable. It's pretty solid. All right, we're going to take this. That's that color. That's cat bell color. And then we're going to do this. 1, 2, this is the collar. That goes underneath all of it. That's that. Okay. That is an ugly color. Are you kidding me? Color fill. Line is, I don't think it's black, but we're going to see what we can do here. And this is going to be color fill that color. And I'm going to do a shadow on this one, drop shadow, just to have like some dimension to that. That's terrible looking. Make editable. Okay. Make editable. Smooth line. Smooth. 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 Hold on. Last touches on this. Okay, and then last piece is shape. It's going to be boop, 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 boop. Stretch out. Perfect. This is, I don't think I want that line there. I don't think I want that there. No. Hold on. That's as far as I can zoom in on this. Oh, I don't like this at all. Make editable. That's that. There's a shadow on this. I thought I could hide this in the shadow. I should be able to hide this in the shadow, right? Make this pink. I can hide it. I just have to make this a little bit more curvy. That goes like that. That goes like this. I have to hide it underneath the line. You'll see what I'm doing in a second. Perfect. Okay, great. And that can be black. And then it gets filled with color fill with this. That is the wrong color fill. Black. Great. Okay. So now we've got the bell. We've got the color, which gets to 100%. Got the arm. Okay. Let's get this last piece is the body itself. That's the cat. Wait, didn't I do an outline of the cat? Is it this one? Wait, what? Oh, it's right there. Oh God, I'm losing my marbles. I thought I lost this whole shape. Color fill. There's that. Okay, so what are we missing now? We've got that shape. What are we missing? We're missing the body. We're missing the head. Not much more. Not much. So we're missing the body. Sorry, we're missing the, hang on a second. I'm going to move this up on top so we can see what we're missing. And then do this, duplicate. And then no fill. There you go. Now I can see what I'm missing. Great. So this shape is at 100%. So what am I missing? I'm hoping this is lined up. Hang on a sec. It doesn't look like it's lined up in a couple parts. No, it is. I just made a mistake here. All right, here we go. Shape. Let's start here. And we're going to go up and up. That's 2. And that one can be this size, and that can be 765. Oops. Make editable. That goes like this. Come on, baby. And then this goes down like that. And then whew, there's one. Then this one, we'll do the same thing. Shape. Just put that to there. Same thing. 5, 7, 6, 5. I think that's 5. Yep. Make editable. Okay. And then we can hide that under the arm. Let's hope I can. I hope I can. I may have to make that a little shorter. Make editable. Color fill. Okay. Make editable. Yeah, there's just a couple weird. No, no, no. That's right. Oh, I see. Sorry. There's something underneath there. We're good. So we've got this face. This should be up front, though. There's that. Good. Okay. Make editable. These are the last kind of remaining. You can really see the difference in the quality of these lines and the, god dang. There you go. Make editable. And last one, make editable. You can hear that hard drive. I don't know if you can hear it on the stream, but it's like, that's the disk drive that's just spinning up. God dang it. It's just a freaking dinosaur. All right. I think that's that. And then we just got to get last. Hold up. This shape is right from here to there. 3, 4, 5. Make editable. Make that a 4. Okay. That's behind it. That's fine. Now we just got to make these. Let's do it. Shape. I almost think we can make these. Let's do it as one shape. Hold up. Down, down, up, up, up. How close can we get this? I wonder. Up, down, 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 up. Okay. How close? We're going to make this line a little bit. I guess we can make this one. Can we? Nope. Let's try. That's going to look like garbage. Not this either. That's too heavy. That might work. Let's try that one. That's the Simpsons line. Okay, up. It has some texture to it. That's why I was hoping to do something a little bit more than sketchy, because sketchy could be, sketchy won't look as nice. Put that there. Where does this go? That goes there. This goes here. That goes there. This gets bent. Let's take that offline. There's that. Not a real line. Not a real like swoopy line. Let's take this off. There you go. That goes there. We are so close. Let's see where this goes. That goes like that. I'm going to hollow this out in a second. I just want to get as much of this put across first. Okay. And then where are we at? Up. How close? How close? Let's see. Let's make this pink and opacity way down. This is where it can be bubbly. That's a bubble. Great. I don't think I need a bubble there. I don't. That's straight. That's straight. This does have a bubble, but I think it's from the text. This comes out a bit. And that also changes color down there. Okay, that's not good. How? That's fat. That's... Okay. I think that's it. So let's make this black. Let's change this to this. Yep. And then say color fill. Yep. Black. It might be a little heavy, but we'll see. Okay. So now on the headphones themselves, I think I have to do 2 lines. One, shape 2. Or is it 3? Hold on. Where are you, buddy? That's not going to help me. I got to bring this to the top. Okay. So we have a top, not in the middle, and the bottom. So this is completely open. Let's get rid of you. So bottom and top are the 2 that have to be done. Yeah. Shoot. I have to do something different here. Just hold up. Put it back to where the pad was. Great. It's right there. I do have to do this. Hold up. Make editable. That's there. This goes here. Hold up. I just have to do this. Make editable. This, I know what you're doing. You're messing everything up. You had it, and now you messed it all up. And I'm like, you're right. I did. I totally screwed it all up. Okay. So now, shape. It's going to be easier to make it like this. Sharp point. That's a sharp point. Oh, I wish I could get in there a little bit further. Let's make this. Hold up. Make editable. Yep. Like that. Stretch out. That comes back in. Yep. I'm not going to do this. Hold on. Like, I'm going to fake that a little bit. Okay. That goes black. Color fill. Great. 100%. That's easier than that, I believe. It's more self-contained. Okay. So now, let's take it all down to there. Nope. Further. Hold on. Group. Okay. Hold on. Where's the top part? Where's his ungroup? I lost the middle part. Where's the middle? Oh no. Oh, there it is. It's at the bottom. I was like, holy cow, what did I screw up there? So this goes underneath. Good. Right there. Right? Yeah. Yeah. I think that's it. Okay. So that's grouped. That's the collar. That's the chin. This gets grouped. That's the overlay. This should go on top. Right? What's this? That goes here. Okay. Group. Okay, so I got 3 groups. Okay. And then this, then this can get grouped, right? Let's see if that works. Let's group this and see what happens. Okay. Now I just got to take his headphones, or their headphones, make this. Okay. Put you on top. The color of their headphones is the same color of their AirPods, whatever those are. Okay. Let's put this down below. Everything is done. Okay. Everything's down below. All right. So now AirPods are the same color as headphones. Color fill. You jerk. There's that. Color fill. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Now just got to take this and put the background color on that, which is, what is the background color? It's that, it's in between gold. So let's take the gold color from that, put that in the front. That's good. So group, it's got to be this color, right? Color fill. Let's see what we got. Bring it to the bottom. This will be 100%. There's 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100. Shape 100, 100, 100, 100. Okay, good. So now all of that's there. This needs to be bumped up a little bit. It's, where are you? It's right there. Okay. Okay. How close? This one could be fatter. Okay, great. Okay. Good, right? I think we do have to do a little shading on the bottom part of that because I don't think I can put that on the front. Hang on a sec. I don't think I can take this. Let's see if I can pull this out. Yeah, I can't do that. Um, cannot do that. It has to exist underneath there. Yep, won't work. So I just have to take this color. Hold on. Shape. Actually, I can probably just do this. Oh, fudge. Shape. Um, what I'm doing now is I'm just trying to get this make editable. Just pull that off the bottom. Great. And then same with you. And then that has to be color of that. Blah, 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 blah. Wow, this is not easy because you have to pull way out for that. Hold on. Make editable. See what that looks like. Hold on. Okay. So then I just take this. God dang it. Let's see if I can get this to work. Copy V. No fill. Hold up. Okay. I guess that will work for now. Hold on. This is going to be slightly larger. Same here. Same there. Geez. 3, 4, 4. I thought we could get away with a lighter one, but no. I don't think we're going to be able to. Hold up. Where's that shadow line? I think the shadow line's screwed up now. Okay. God dang shadow line. Okay. I think that's all of the cat. Let's make sure. That's the cat, I think, right? I got the face. I got the bell. I got the, okay, good, good, good. I think that's it. Okay. Feeling good about that. Now it's just the coins. Let's go back to the coins. Good Lord. And we're finishing this up. All right. Without everybody here. Oh, did I lose everybody? Oh, I think I did. Well, let's see how that works.